This video is all about trades, and with Marcus Davenport going down for the year, speculation blew up. Should the Lions make a move to acquire a pass rusher? Now, you've heard me talk about it. I think the Lions should before the NFL trade deadline, but does that mean they will? We just going to have to go through this article and find out. So this is a sideline report there. 5 players the Lions should look to acquire. And we're going to give you our thoughts on this list. Is this going to be a realistic possibility? Is this unrealistic? Is this just click? Is this something the Lions should look to do? Would other teams do it? That type of thing. So that's what this video is all about. Without further ado, let's go. So what do you think? Should the Lions make a trade for a player before the NFL trade deadline, pass rusher? T for trade or P for pass? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Again, it's on the sideline report. Check it out. Lions lost Davenport for the year, so how should the Lions replace them? This article, again, gives you 5 players the Lions should trade for. We're going to go through the players and everything here. So the first one here is DeMarcus Lawrence, pass rusher from the Dallas Cowboys. They got Micah Parsons. Their team is now 2-2. Came close to losing to the New York Giants last night, which the Giants are a bad team. Now, Parsons just got injured from the game last night. Matter of fact, DeMarcus Lawrence got injured, so the odds of this happening is just extremely unlikely. And DeMarcus Lawrence, 32 years old, like it says, he's still a player whom is getting sacks. Got 3 sacks so far this year, 7 solo tackles, 1 forced fumble. He's a player that's getting it done still on the field, even though at 32. With that said, the Dallas Cowboys want to win, and they want to win this year. So the Lions trading for DeMarcus Lawrence, in my opinion, just off that alone, is about 1%. Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones is not just going to give up. It's not going to happen. That's not what they do. And they want to try to keep winning. That's what they're going to do. And so should the Lions make a trade for a player? T for trade, P for pass. Let us know in the comments. Let's go to this next player here. So I'm going to say about a 1% chance. Even though he's a good player, I just don't see the Dallas Cowboys doing that. Jonathan Cooper, pass rusher, good pass rusher from the Denver Broncos. Now, this is a different story because the Denver Broncos, in my opinion, are not a really good team. Denver Broncos have 1 win this year. They got their rookie quarterback. I think they're a team that's one of the bottom feeders of the NFL. So could they make a move to send a player like Jonathan Cooper to the Lions? He's 26 years old. He's the ripe age. He's on the team that potentially could make a move of selling because they're bad. And he does kind of what the Lions are looking for, right? I would say, yeah, that's a yes. For the age, that's a yes. With that said, you would have to give up quite a bit, I feel like, to get a Jonathan Cooper. We're talking about, after a first-round pick, a 26-year-old pass rusher. And I just don't believe the Lions would send a second-round pick right now to get any sort of pass rusher. That's just not what they do. We have not seen any move like this up to this point where the Lions are willing to trade future assets for a player on another team. So the player, the ideal situation, I just don't see the Lions doing a move of that nature. Do you? Have you seen them make a move like this? I personally haven't, and I just don't think that they would do that. Now, look, I'm not going to lie. It's enticing. It's enticing because this team is so close, and the last thing that we want is to lose a piece and then not make a Super Bowl or lose a playoff game when you could have won it. So that's the situation that they're coming in for. And I personally think this would be something they should look into. I just don't see them doing it. I don't. Next player on the list is Josh Uche, New England Patriots. He was actually subject of trade rumors before the season. He is ideal, right? Again, he's got 5 solo tackles, but only 1 sack, but his age is ideal. When you're looking for a trade, you're looking for a player that's not too old, so he's 26. The problem here is I think it wouldn't cost a lot to get him at all. We're talking a mid to late round draft pick right there. They're in a rebuild mode for sure, so it makes sense that they could move away from players. There's no doubt about it. But would they move one of their players right now when they're trying to change a culture over there from Bill Belichick era? So that's something that you look at. But I think that the player works, the situation works because it's not a good team over there. The compensation I wouldn't think would be high. But would Brad Holmes want to make a move like this? Because it seems, I don't know if it would really be much of an upgrade. I would rather probably take a chance on Joshua Pascal, and maybe that's what they're thinking, the guys on the inside. So would you make a move? Would you trade for Josh Uche? Let me know your thoughts in the comments right now. Let's continue on here. Let's get into the next player. And this one is Maxx Crosby. I've heard this name chanted around for Lions to trade for him because he would like to. He would love to play for Dan Campbell from Michigan, right? It's bringing him type of home, the situation right there. It sounds good in theory. It always sounds good in theory. But let's keep this 100 really, really quick. I do not see this happening at all, and it's an absolute pipe dream. First off, to acquire Maxx Crosby, you're going to have to give up multiple first-round picks, okay? Multiple first-round picks. Why? Because he's 27 years old. He's one of the best pass rushers in football. 3 sacks, 8 solo. We know. I only need to look at his stats. The guy is an absolute monster. Okay? Do you think that the Raiders are going to give Maxx Crosby up? They're trying to win for Antonio Pierce. There is no way on God's green earth I would see this happening. First off, I would love to have Maxx Crosby on here. I think everybody would. But this would be a terrible decision for the Raiders. It would be a terrible decision to get rid of arguably a top 2, 3 pass rusher in the NFL for a team that's trying to change their culture over there with Antonio Pierce and winning. That would be a dagger to that organization because they're still trying to fight right now. So the odds of this happening, in my opinion, I think the better odds is if the Titanic resurrected from the ocean after going down by an iceberg than it is for Maxx Crosby to get traded to the Lions. It would be epic. I would be doing backflips. I think Lions fans would be doing backflips. You see the Tigers fans go crazy right now in the stadium. That's how it would be if the Lions traded for Maxx Crosby. That's how the fans would be. Because it's a pipe dream. It's something, it's like saying, would you trade for Patrick Mahomes right now? Yeah, I mean, we would love to trade for Patrick Mahomes. Right? We would love to have Justin Jefferson. We would love to have the best of the best, but that's just not how the NFL works. And the Raiders fans would be so mad. It would be unbelievable. I would like to just see just for that action right there. Let's keep 100, but that's a joke. With that said, it would be unbelievable, something that's just not going to happen. So, would you trade for Maxx Crosby? Why for yes and for no? Next player, last player on their list here is Trey Hendrickson, and this is one that came up in multiple articles here. Ideal situation. I think of all the players on this list, I think this would be probably the most plausible one, even though we'll get into the odds of what I think. 29 years old, perfect age. He's on a team that's bad, that's 0-3. There's already dispute for contract. He's already understands players in the DJ Reader. He is, it seems like the perfect situation. The Lions got the money. So of all the players here potentially that could be traded, this would be the most logical one. 100%. I think he would make this defensive line much better. No doubt about it. Again, to get him, though, it's going to cost a higher draft pick. Maybe you can make a deal for James Houston or something like that, and some draft pick for Trey Hendrickson. That would make sense. I would like to see this move. I just don't. I would give this the best odds. I still think it's unlikely because the Lions just doesn't make moves like this. We haven't seen it yet, and I think we should. I don't think we should ever close the door on making a move. But I would definitely make a phone call to see if you could get him before the trade deadline. They're going to fight more, but I tell you what, if the Bengals go 0-4, 0-5, their season's done, and that's when you make a phone call. There's no doubt about it. So would you trade for Trey Hendrickson? I would like to make the move, but that's just me. That's just me. So give me your thoughts in there. Again, I don't think the Lions, if they make a trade, it's probably anybody on this list. But, hey, I've been wrong before, so hopefully we'll see what happens with the Lions' defensive line going forward, and they'll make a move. With that said, folks, adios.